Hello lovely people, this is Kingsley from Emerge. We are here once again to present to you family fun time. After the 25 days of Vlogmas, I got a bit bent out. I was also not feeling fine, so we've not been able to produce any videos, and this is our first video for the year 2021. 2021, we have lots and lots and lots for you: educative, family fun time, inspiration, faith nuggets, and we are going to provide you with all these things. Come with me today as I make the rest of the family rest and I do the cooking. Today I want to cook canned beef stew. So I've got my tomatoes, I've got canned beef, eggs to go with, and then some pepper that I've already put in water just to wash it. I've got my onion in the traditional blender. This is the tapolis. If you don't know the English name of this, it's the tapolis. So this is the traditional blender. This has withstand the test of time, and I love using this. Of course, I've got a blender also there, so when there's a need, I would use both. So now what I want to do is that I want to chop my onions. Hands are already washed, everything, yeah? So chop my onions. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to chop them in two different styles. One to put in the oil to fry a bit, and then one to blend with the pepper. So here we go. I just turn it this way around and I begin to chop. Okay, so I'll keep this one here. Chop. And then the rest I'll just do this way, that way, because I'll be blending it with the pepper. Good, good. So that is done. I'll get my cooking oil, pour the cooking oil into the pan, heat it up a bit, and add a bit of the onions to it. Okay, so let's pause here and I'll come back to you again. Take care, stay blessed. Bye. Yeah, hello, you're welcome once again. So this time I'm going to put my onions into the oil. So the onion is in the oil, the heat moderate so it doesn't burn. And then what I'll do is that with my spatula I will just stir. So you put in the oil in the saucepan, heat it for a few minutes, then add the onions. And then as I stir them, the onions cook gently and browns lightly. You don't want it to be burnt. Yeah, so make sure that you keep the temperature very good. Secondly, the amount of oil you put in will determine how much tomato you are using. I'm using 2 tins of tomato chopped I prefer the chopped ones, so I'm using the chopped ones. So I don't need to blend or grind it in the earthen blender. That earthen blender in our local dialect is called Ayowa or Apotoyowa, whichever one it is. So with this stew, this canned beef stew with the egg, you can eat it with yam, you can eat it with potato, you could eat it with plantain, with rice, and a host of delicacies. I am not switching the hood on because of the noise. No need to be for the cabinet here. So I stir again. Then the next step would be to cut my tin tomato and add it to the onion that is being cooked. So I'll just turn it. Okay, very good. So number one is done. Number two is also done. Remember, you can also use the tomato puree also. You can use the tomato puree, and you can use a combination of the chopped tomato and the tomato puree. You could also use fresh cut tomato. What? Fresh cut tomato, spot on. Cut that nicely and also put them in. So now I will gently add my tomato. And then I'll begin to stir, just to make sure there's a perfect mix. I always like to cook with moderate heat. My reason being, one, to make sure that the nutrients are, you don't overcook the food to get the nutrients all the ways. Sometimes as people of African descent, we have the tendency of overcooking food, and so I normally cook it at very low temperature, and then make sure also that excessive evaporation of some nutrient minerals that are soluble. So for instance, if you cut a fresh tomato, the fresh tomato has its own juices. So if you put it under excessive heat, most of them would evaporate with the oil and the water that is in out. So what I do is to always cook with moderate temperature. In that way, to see that the tomato or the food does not stick to the base of the so that is it. Stirring it gently, and then I will leave it to cook. With tomato, that's a bit of caution. It has a tendency to be popping up. When you are cooking. So reducing the fire also helps in controlling how much of it pops up. Because I don't know, by the time you finish, most of the tomato is spread all over the place. So I will leave you here and then catch you in a second. Take care and join and stay with me as we cook. Bye-bye. Yeah, hello lovely people, welcome back again. Now because I didn't want the blender to make too much noise in the video and to affect the sound quality, I've already blended some onions and pepper, and I've added on to the tomato as it cooks on the fire. I would, after some time, bring the camera close to the stove for you to look at how everything is going. Now I'm just taking you through the process. I've washed my eggs, I'll be cracking them, but before then I would have to add some spices. Some people add too much spices to their food, but I prefer to go minimal. So I'll be adding this. This is Gino curry powder. We're privileged to have from Ghana some time back, and Jumbo Maggi cube. This is in no way advertising. I'm just showing you what I use for my food. So I'll be adding them to it in a couple of minutes to give it a bit of flavor and a nice aroma when you are eating. Okay, so I'll just open it up. So something just small to take. My thing is almost finished. So with the spoon I'll just sprinkle it over. A couple more just to sprinkle it on top. Last bit. Good. And I will need a pair of scissors. Okay. Yeah, so it helps makes the food taste and smell good. The tomato is cooking really nice and blending nicely with the onion. So cut it off and then move it around and put everything in there. Even now you can see and feel the aroma. Give it a gentle stir. Now, for all this while, I've not added salt because of the canned beef. It's quite salty, so until I add the canned beef to know how it tastes, I will never add salt. If you add salt and you add the canned beef, the tendency is that you're going to make your food so salty and very, very difficult to eat. So stir it, and like I said, because of the way I cook the food, it does not stick to the pan, even if I am using a non-stick cooking utensil. Low heat, and from time to time I stir. So I want to cover it. Yes, that's how I do it, to trap every nutrient, everything in there so that they don't evaporate. So that is about that. Now what I want to do is to crack my eggs. So I've got my knife here. Quick wash. Yeah, so I'm going to crack my eggs. One of the things I do worst is the cracking of eggs. For some funny reason, I don't know, but I'll give it a try. So crack all the eggs. I will not put the eggs in now. I will put the eggs in after the corned beef. Okay. Like I said, cracking of eggs has always been something that I struggle to do. I don't know why. And I always prefer to wash them before I crack them, because some of them are picked from the farm and they might come with all sort of micro stuff that you don't know, feathers, droppings and stuff. So I always wash my eggs. Okay, so that's how I do it. I hope you are enjoying this session. You know, this is a disclaimer. Some people may do things differently from the way I do, but this is how I have learned. I grew up with my grandmother and my great-grandmother, so I watched how they did certain things. So, as a young man growing up, I just, defaultly did things the way they did it, and sometimes adding a bit of twist, because no two persons are the same. Yeah. But different people would have different ways of doing it. I have seen somebody who cracks the egg by just hitting them on the distance and doing it. I cannot do that. When I do it, everything will be all over the place. Yeah. So we will take a quick break as I crack the rest of the eggs. Then when we come back, I'll show you the next step of what to do. Take care. Yeah, okay, so now what I want to do is to open the canned beef and put them in the tomato sauce that I've made. This is also something that I used to struggle with. Now it comes to me so easily when I see the technique. Yeah. So this canned beef stew with egg. Canned beef stew with egg. And then for today we will eat it with a combination of rice and yam. So that's the corned beef. First one done. Let's open the second one. I've also cracked all the eggs. So what I'll do is that I will whisk the eggs. We have a whisk, but I prefer to, African way. I prefer to use a fork, a spoon to just quickly whisk it. It's much easier for me. Much convenient. So like I said, different people would have different ways of cooking this particular food. In fact, canned beef stew is quite popular with Ghanaians. It's something that Ghanaians like a lot. So that's it. So now it will go into the stew. At this point, I've even lowered the heat a bit more, because if I add it with a high heat, they will begin to stick at the base of the cooking. So I've even lowered the heat a bit. So I'm going to add it. It is really cooking well. Honestly, I don't know whether you can see from here. Really cooking. That's That's it. If you can see from here. Yeah. So that's nice. So I'll bring the camera close at some point. Yeah. Unfortunately, if I had cooked in a pan, like a sort of frying pan, that would have been quite easy for you to see everything that's going on. And unfortunately, I'm not using an overhead camera as well, so bear with me. So I'll try and take it bit by bit. Take it bit by bit. Oops, oops, oops. Bit by bit. Bit by bit. Okay, so first one is done. The next one is done. Okay, so once I finish putting them in, I'll give it a gentle stir to make sure that they are evenly blended in the stew. Make sure they are evenly blended. This is also done. Good. So try use the wooden to try and break them down into smaller sizes. Because other than that, there will be chunks in the stew, but you want them to blend nicely so that when you add the egg, everything becomes evenly distributed. And like I said, after this stage, I'll add the eggs. I'll also taste to see how tasty in terms of salt it is. Because like I told you, the corned beef is quite salty. So if you are not very careful and you put in much salt before putting in the corned beef, there is a tendency that you make your food salty and possibly uneatable if you put it. Yeah, so I'm giving it a nice blend. So I will allow it to cook for some few minutes before I add the eggs. I hope by now your mouth is watering. This is my crowd pleasing corned beef and egg stew. That's it. See, I can always do cover it. Increase the fire a bit. The rice is also cooking already. After doing the egg bit and allowing it to simmer for some time, I've got a piece of yam, cut them into pieces and cook it. So just stay with us and we'll be back in a minute. Cheers. Yeah, so now I'm going to use the fork. Like I said, you could use a machine to whisk or something, but I prefer to use the fork. So gently, 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 gently whisk it. So this is quite a mechanical way of doing things. But if you are cooking food in large quantities, it would be better to use the handheld mixer to do that. But because this is for a family of 3, I can just get away with using a fork or a knife or a spoon to whisk it. So now gradually everything is set. I will then add this gently and allow it to simmer for some time, and then I stir. Because what we are looking for is a perfect blend. Perfect blend of the egg with the stew. Other than that, you see that all the egg is at one side, and then the stew is at another. That's not what we want. We want a perfect blend. I wouldn't be happy if it turns out that way, but I'm an expert, and so everything will turn out. So just giving it another stir again. So one thing with canned beef stew, let me lower it. Stirring is very important because you see it's now even popping up as the heat was a bit up high. So I'll allow it to simmer for some time and clean. There's one thing about me, as I cook, I clean, I wash the utensils alongside. Sometimes the missus asks me, why do you finish everything and clean? I said, no. That's the way I saw my grandmom do it. So it's become part and parcel of me. The logic behind this is that once I finish cooking, food is ready for me to go and eat. After eating, I want to relax. I don't want to be thinking about washing lots of dishes after the cooking. So I do things simultaneously. Yeah. So if you see me wiping, don't say it will spill over again. Yes, it will spill and I'll clean. That's the way I do it. The old habits, they say, are not easy to change, so pardon me. Good, so now it's okay. So time to add the egg. So I'll do it gently, moving it around. And like I said, I'm going to allow it to simmer for some time, and then I'll give it a stir. So we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have a look at how everything is turning out. And then we'll get our yam prepared, and also to be on the fire to get it cooked. The rice, like I said, is on. It's now warming up. It's cooked and it's warming up. So thanks for being with us. I know that you are being inspired. This is family fun time. The ladies are resting while the man is doing the cooking. I want to challenge you very much. A man out there, do surprise your family by asking them to take a rest whilst you do the cooking. Trust me, they will love your cooking. Okay, catch you in a minute. Okay, so now everything is set, and I want to put a little bit of a twist to it. I want to add sardines in sunflower oil to the stew, just to give it a bit of a twist. Just to give it a twist. So just use a knife. So I'll add the sunflower oil, which is quite good and nutritious, to it. And then I'll quickly open the tin. And then put everything in there. Good. So that is done. Then to the next one. Try to put oil on top. You know, sunflower is good, so adding it to the oil in the food is not anything bad. This is where I always struggle. I use my knife. It's easier for me that way. So the knife, I just move the lid. Gently turn it this way. And then I put that one in. So that is done. So I'm washing my hands. I'll just give it a quick stir just to make sure everything blends nicely. And like I said, you could eat this stew with yam, with rice, or banku. Virtually most foods you can eat it. So I'll just leave it to simmer. I'll leave it to simmer. And like I usually do, put my lid to trap every nutrient in there. Okay, good. Now, I have peeled my yam. For those of you who are from West Africa, you know what yam is. Or from Africa, you know what yam is. So this is yam, similar to what Europeans and other nations have potato, but these are bigger ones. Okay. So I've peeled them. These are huge chunks. I've washed them. I want to cut them into pieces. Now the way I cook my yam is that I put water with a bit of salt to taste on fire first, and then I cut these ones and then put them in. So by the time I'm putting in, the water might have boiled, so it doesn't take time for the yam to cook. Some would prefer putting everything with the water and cook straight on, but I prefer to heat the water, make sure it's boiling, and then I'll add the yam. It makes it cook very good. You can try it if that's not the way you do it. You can try it and give me a feedback in the comment section. If you have a different way of going about what I'm doing today, cooking my egg and corned beef stew with sunflower with sardines to taste, yam, and the rice, which is already almost ready to be eaten. If you have a different way of going about it, in the comment section, give me your steps. If you want me to cook any other food, comment in the comment section and let me know, and then I'll do so for you. Okay, so now I'm going to cut the yams into good sizes. Yep. The medium size they are, the easier it is for them to be cooked. So the chunky ones, I'll try and put them at the base. You don't want it to be too small, neither do you want them to be too big. Oops, sorry about that one. Accident. Good. So let me put this one here to give you some space. And that one. So now I'm waiting for the water to boil, and then I'll put them in. So I'll bring the camera closer to the stew for you to have a look. Oh, wow. Wow, sumptuous. I think by now your mouth is watering. Ooh. Okay, let me taste, because I've still not added salt, remember, because of the canned beef. Let me taste a bit of it. That's really nice. So I will just, now that I know the taste, I'll add a bit of salt and I'll stir. Okay, it tastes so good. So I'll just quickly take salt, a bit of salt to taste, a bit of salt to taste. So in cooking this sort of stew, canned beef stew, always be careful about the salt. It's better to have less salt than to have much more salt. And one thing about this canned beef stew is that when it becomes so salty, the only way you can redeem yourself is to cook rice without salt and then eat with it. But I don't want to give myself that kind of trouble. So I make sure that I don't put salt at all till at the tail end. I have a taste and then I add salt accordingly. So I'll cover it and allow it to simmer. When food is ready, I will serve the table and then invite the ladies to come and have and come and enjoy their meal. Okay, so yes, the water is now boiling. I will put the yams in and allow them to cook. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kingsley from Emerge, taking you through step-by-step way of cooking my crowd-pleasing canned beef stew and yam to go with rice. We want to have it balanced. You can eat it with yam only, or you can eat it with rice only, but we want to blend it too. So do have a wonderful 2021, and if you want more of such inspirational videos and family fun time, faith nuggets, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Kingsley Emerge Media, and do not forget to like and share this video. Don't forget to also comment in the comment section to let us know how or the steps you will take in cooking this. If you have any delicacy, you can share the recipe with us. If you want me to cook any other meal too, let me know in the comment section and you will be my guest. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you later. Ciao! Food is served. Food is now ready to be eaten. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Let me give you an area view. Then I'll give you the details. So that's the portion of rice. That's the portion of yam. And that's the crowd pleasing stew. Yummy, 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 yummy. you mean? You're all invited. Come and have a taste of my crowd-pleasing canned beef stew. If you want to book an appointment, contact me and I'll prepare some for you. Have a wonderful day and see you next time.